Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rasnadi. Number name 28920500072. Prodi Management. It's subject English. Semester 3. Faculty of Business Economic. Professor of Definitions Mr. Karyadi MM. The origin of Surabaya. Once upon a time, a north part of East Java, there lived a scary giant crocodile. He was the ruler of the river and predator who was feared by all the animals in the forest. Near the river. The name of the crocodile was Baya. He was very good at hunting, so all of the animals in the jungle were afraid of him. Baya lived in a river. In the sea, there lived a whale shark named Sura. He ruled the sea, and every fish were scary of him. Whoever Sura fed bored because he ate fish every day. He was curious about the river near the sea. One day he decided to go to the river. At the side of the river there was a deer that was drinking water. Sura felt hungry, so he swam silently to the edge and jumped off the chat. The deer. Sura was happy to get such delicious food. After eating the deer, Sura became addicted. The next day he hunted back on the river and got to a lot of food. After couple days, Baya became suspicious because it was harder and harder for him to find prey. He started investigating what was happening. When Baya saw Sura catch a little monkey in the river, Baya became angry. Hey Sura, what are you going Sura? What are you doing here? This is my territory. How dare you snatch my prey? Sura was not afraid of Baya. He challenged Baya to a fight. I can look for food everywhere I want. It's not just your territory here. All animals are free to look for food here. Finally, a fight should not be avoided, and the fight began. Because both of them were strong, the fight was very long. For days, all the animals in the forest were disturbed by the fight. They shall sleep. Finally, the two wild animals were exchanged. No one won and no one lost. The combat of them were equally strong. Sura, we better end this fight. I'm too tired, so I Baya. Okay, let's end this battle. Sura, fish. We need to limit our hunting hour. The end of the river is the limit. Don't you break the line, or you will feel the consequence. Okay, Baya, I accept this agreement. Surah finally lets the river and return of the sea. For months, the first challenge done. There were no fight between Surah and Baya, but Surah felt anxious. He longed to eat deer meat like before. There were a lot of fish in the sea, but it was not for him. He should bear it so quickly. He swam toward the mouth of the river. If look for prey near the rivers. Months Baya won now because he left further of the river. Unfortunately, no prey approached the mouth of the river. Surah was tired of waiting. Finally, they swam up the river toward the forest. Surah wanted to go back to the jungle again. This time he must be careful not to be challenged by Baya. He. I will shot the prey and immediately bring it out to sea. So Baya won't see me. He. Fat. Fat. Wow, lucky me. Today I have a fish. Na. Just he was about to bring the deer to the sea. Suddenly Baya confronted him. Hey, you Surah, are you stubborn and shameless? Surah, how greedy are you? Imagine the fish in the sea are abundant, but you are still hunting in my hour. Hey Baya, if you want, you can hunt in the sea. I don't forbid you. I don't like fish. I especially can't stand the sea water. Well, it's okay if you don't want. If you don't want it, at least I have offered it to you. Surah and sweat like and bread and drag the deer to the sea. Baya got angry, then attacked Surah. Hey, where do you think you? Hey, where do you think you're? Bring that deer to the sea. I'll edge the hair. Bring the deer here. I chance it to trap. I chance it to trap you. Well, it's your fault. It's your fault you did at the deer yourself. You forgot our agreement. This river is my territory. Hey, if there is water, there is me. This agreement is really close. Okay, then our agreement is cancelled. Now, the Strauss of has the right to rule this area. Finally, Baya attacks Shura. A fight shall be prevented. This time it was even more exciting. No one dared to approach the art of the fight. Ah, here, Surah Al-Was, that dot his attack, and Baya become annoyed when Surah was off guard. Baya managed to beat his style, outsmart style. Surah did not want to lose, but of them were in pain and seriously injustice. However, Baya did not despise. He continued to bite until Surah tail was cut off. Surah was in so much pain he ran away, leaving Baya toward the sea. Since the Surah has not dared to approach the river, and since he no longer hand style, he shall swim as hard as he once had. Art is so painful. Oh my! The comrade, the fight, the area where the two animals fought was called Surabaya, and the name remains to this day. Thank you very much.